no gouging. No punching, I saw that. You'll be disqualified. What was that? No, it's up a little bit.
That's surely down.
1, 2, no. What? Ding, ding, ding. I declare the contest a draw.
No, that's not all around.
Back to your corner.
That's not all around.
Just tell me about years ago when you were 21, that piano.
Mm.
Do you remember that present?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about it and how you got it.
Can't remember now.
Well, you surely
Such a long time ago.
You're Reg 40.
You were 21.
Yes, I was.
Well, tell me
21.
about it. I mean, did you really want a piano? That was something you were after.
Yes.
And so, how did it come about? Did you know you were going to get the piano?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
So Uncle Reg
It's
said
going
to
to
you.
be an intelligent conversation, isn't it? Yes.
So did Uncle Reg say to you
He
like?
bought me that, and then he went into hospital after he bought it. It was Christmas time, wasn't it?
Yeah. What did he go into hospital for then?
Appendicitis.
And so you got the piano. And what did you do then? Did you take piano lessons?
No,
Why not?
because I could play by ear.
So you played by ear.
Your father does.
And were you married then?
No, 21.
You were 21. About my age now.
Yes, that's right. Bit
So-
younger than.
So tell me about that time that you went and shaved your eyebrows and came back home.
Then I went to the hairdressers
Yeah.
and came home with them done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What made you do that then?
Because it was a fashion, wasn't
Oh,
it?
was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So you went to the hairdressers.
yes.
They curl their eyebrows.
Had them flat.
You had them what?
Flat.
Oh, well, we said it for fun. So you didn't tell Uncle Reg you were having this done?
No.
You just went ahead?
Well, no, we had tea, didn't we? And they all kept looking at me, wondering what was the matter.
Well, who was this?
All of them.
Well, Uncle Reg as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birthday.
He sounds like, oh, you'll take us too far.
Who, me? Thank you very much. Which one? I've got it.
Yes.
He don't talk like that, does he?
I'll save some juice for a minute because you've burned it there.
That's right.
Flipping hot here, isn't
And then
it?
what did he say to you then when you saw these your eyelashes done?
Well, they kept saying I didn't look well.
And
You never do look well.
He also said to you he'd never speak to you until they grew again.
Again.
Yeah.
I bet that wasn't
So you
true.
went and got the
was it?
Vaseline and put Vaseline on them.
And when they let them grow again.
And you never went mad like that. And then anything done
I
ridiculous.
know, I can't remember now.
Yes, she
Long time ago,
did. She
innit?
used to put Nan's bits of false hair on her, in her
And
hand.
the red cones, wasn't it?
Red
What do you mean red currant? Red currant
On
jelly?
the hats. No, red cone. The berries.
Decoration.
Yeah.
Is
Like
this
a
nearly
cheesecake.
happening? Because I'm roasted here.
Yeah.
You're roasting. If you're roasting, what are you going to do?
We're going to be talking tonight to George Marsh, who, as a coincidence, happens to be my father, about some of his experiences in life, the clean ones that is, and especially the experiences during the war. So, first of all, Dad, I'd like to ask you how you felt working in the war as a fireman.
Pretty uncomfortable sometimes.
I mean, at the start of the war, there was very little activity, is that right?
That's right.
So what was happening then? You were just sat around the station, I suppose.
Sat around the station and the girls used to come in.
And what happened then?
Well, when the girls came in, we used to have a bit of a fun.
So you were sat around
And
the
I
station.
was a bit of a...
A what? Bit of a what?
Can be
I was
a
a bit
real
of a
right
leader.
conversation.
Actually,
In what sense?
well, they thought I was a bit of a swine,
Mm.
A misery.
a misery.
Oh, because you were a sub officer then. Is that right?
I was known as a section leader.
Yeah.
Section leader.
So yeah, so what did that actually mean as a section leader?
That was
Your
like
boys.
Well, I looked after about 79 chaps.
Yeah.
And used to take them for roll call to see that they're all there.
Were they all there?
They come all.
Not always.
Oh, they didn't like you.
They didn't like me. Oh no. I was too regimental.
But I mean, that's the actual thing of going and fighting a fire at those times. I mean, what was that like during the war?
Very sad.
Well, it was exciting until the bells went down.
When you mean the bells went down, what do you mean by
Well,
that?
when you started ringing the bells when you went out.
What,
you were
going to
all
war?
right.
Giving a
Yeah.
warning.
Yeah,
But before you went, it was terrible.
yeah. What do you mean before you, when you were sat at the actual
When you was
station?
waiting and
What was what do you mean? What was terrible about
well,
the
it was
waiting?
tension.
Yeah. What, waiting for a fire to come along?
Not actually waiting, hearing the bits of shrapnel falling and all that sort of
Oh, I
thing.
mean, this is just where an
Air
air
raid
raid was going
Yeah,
on.
air
You
raid was
sat
going
in the
on,
air raid, yeah.
And we weren't sat in the air raid shelter, we were sat
No.
in the school where our station was.
Yeah.
And you could hear the bits of shrapnel falling all over the place.
Mm.
And then when you used to go out then, you'd go down, because everything was black. You had
Got the blackout.
yeah, you had no headlights.
Yeah.
You just, drove in the dark. And once when we were driving along, we stopped, and as we stopped, there was a big hole in the front where a bomb had dropped. And if we'd gone that bit further, we'd been down there.
Mm. There was one time, I remember you telling me a long time ago, about when you stopped at a station and it was empty and you
That's
went
right.
in. What happened there?
That's right. Well, I had to report off when one fire, and I went into this station, and there was no one about at all. And I went into what was known as the watch room, and no one in there. And I got on the phone to whoever it was the other end, that would be the head officer, and they said, "What are you doing in there?" So I said, "Well, I'm reporting in." They said, "Well, you want to get out of there pretty sharp. There's a bomb waiting to go off any moment." So you didn't see much for dust.
You moved out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you actually got, I mean, what area were you fighting in London? Was it all over London, just part of London?
All different parts of London.
Where were you actually stationed?
In Fulham.
Fulham. So it was that part of London mainly. I mean,
East End as well.
was it the East End?
Go to the East End, used to go to the East End, all over the place.
So when you got there, I mean, what was it like? I mean, I can't imagine it. I mean, was the whole area ablaze, or was it just one house?
Oh,
or
no. Once when we went to the East End of London, we got up near Bow Bridge, and Gerry dropped a basket full of bombs, the incendiary bombs, and they fell all round us. And we were kicking them out right, left and centre before we went onto the station. And then when we went onto the station, we then had to report to where the fire was
What do
going
you mean
on.
when you went to the station? This is where you're operating, is it?
Well, you get called to a station, a fire station.
Another fire station.
And the
Go
fire
there.
station then turn you out to a fire.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then we turned out to this fire, and this fire was burning up Murray Hill, and there was all sorts of stuff burning in there, and it was very intense. And we were right on the side of a canal, and if you weren't careful, you'd fall in the canal.
Incendiary bombs. What actually are they?
Incendiary bomb is a piece of metal about that long, which tapers down in the front and has got fins at the back of it. And when it strikes the ground, that sets it going, and it burns magnesium.
So it doesn't explode.
It doesn't explode, no. It burns magnesium, which is a terrible smell, and of course that magnesium helps to intensify the fire. And before we went, we saved plenty of property before we ever went to where the fire was.
I mean, when you got to a fire, sometimes there must have been 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. How did you select which one you were going to fight, or were there enough engines and firemen to fight them all?
Oh no, you just set about one, and then if you was able to get that one out, you put the other one out.
Because I think looking back, remembering back, I remember you saying at one time about people coming up to you and saying, "Please save my house, Mister."
Oh yes, you would get that, but of course you couldn't do nothing about it. You just could do your best. That's how it was in them days. It's such a long time ago now that I forget half what happened. But in times, exciting times.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And my next guest, who will be on just after the break, is my mother. Thank you.
Of course, during the day she had to go to bed.
Yeah.
she couldn't go to bed and look after us, so the best thing was for us to be put into a home.
I mean, that must have been absolutely... I mean, I think that would cut me to pieces if that happened to me when I was a child, especially at 4. I mean, how did you feel?
Well, didn't really worry about it all that much. The only thing is, it wasn't a very good home. They were very strict with us all. But Mum used to come and see us every Sunday and fetch us baked potatoes.
But didn't you, I mean, did you question why you were going to that home? I mean, did it seem strange that you were leaving your parents?
4 years old, I don't think you would you?
Well, I don't know really. I don't know if you might. I don't know. You're probably right. I mean, it didn't happen to me. So your father then had, which would be my grandfather, had left then, and he walked out, or your Nana lady left him, or what?
Oh, I don't remember how it first started. All I know that I didn't have a father then.
Yeah,
He was living with his sister.
Mm. And so you went into the home, which you didn't like. Really?
Well, I didn't like to a certain extent because I was little, and they were dreadfully strict with us all.
These were nuns, weren't they?
They were nuns, and they were dreadfully strict. That's why I don't like Catholics.
What, because every time you think of them, you
I think of those days.
probably think it's not a very Christian attitude.
And
that
used to
they
get
carry
the cane and have to kneel in a church in the afternoon, right until it was about 8 at night in the dark, all on my own. Right, that's what stands
From
out
what
in
time?
my mind. Oh, from about 12 o'clock midday to about 8 in the evening, kneeling by the altar.
What, all that time?
Because I was a naughty girl, I told a lie or something like that, and then left in the dark. And Auntie Tilly remembers that.
And then, how long were you there?
About 3 years. Oh, till the war ended.
So that's
we
the
were
first
there
World
on.
War,
We were
isn't
there.
it?
We were there until. We were there when they had the peace day because we had what they called peace butter.
Peace butter.
Yeah, so we had Marge, you see, until then, and we had butter for tea. Peace butter.
And that's the end of the war. And then you went back home, did you?
Went back home with my mother, and then my father came back for a few years.
Oh, he came back.
He came back. He came back because us children asked to have a father again, and he came back for a while, but he still wasn't as good as he should have been.
And then off he went again.
Then, the war came and we went down to Newbury, evacuated. He had a house down there, and then he wasn't very good then, so your dad and I brought Nan back to London, where she spent the rest of her days.
And you came back to London during the war? That was during the war?
During the Second World War.
Yeah, the Second World War. It'd be about 1942.
Yes.
And why didn't you stay out of London? It seems funny to me that you come back to London with the Blitz and stuff like that.
Because I didn't want to stay down there.
You didn't like it?
Didn't like it down there, and also Dad had got a house for us, so that's why we came back.
That would be in All Saints Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean it was a bit of a risk coming back there and living in All Saints Road because lots of that area was bombed. I mean, the top of the All Saints Road was completely bombed, wasn't it?
It fell in the garden, fortunately, yes. But I went away again down to Aldershot. You were tiny, and Olive and that, but still came back again. I think everybody did that in their turn.
And then there was a time when George, that's my oldest brother, was at the garden and there was a plane came over, wasn't there, and it was firing at you.
Oh yes, that was down in Newbury, that was.
Oh, that was Newbury. I always thought
Yes.
it was All Saints Road.
No, that was at Newbury.
What
He was going all along by the River Kennet, just firing at people, and as he came over the house, we were going to go out to take George to school, and as I looked up we could see the cross of the German plane.
Yeah.
And started firing along the garden, and we darted back in the house again. There were several people injured down at Newbury then.
And then what about you? Because you had rheumatism, didn't you? Very badly. What age were you when you had rheumatism?
15 then.
So it started then. But were you in a wheelchair at one time with the rheumatism? You couldn't walk?
No, I had to be carried into the bedroom. Uncle Reg used to carry me into the bedroom at night.
Well, so you could walk, but...
I could walk, but with great difficulty.
Okay. That's great. And after the break, we're going to be talking to one of the youngest members of the family, and that's Vanessa. And we'll see one of the youngest members of the family, and that's Vanessa. Hello.
Yeah.
And you've just had a birthday, is that right?
Yeah.
And did you enjoy it?
Yeah, thank you.
What sort of presents did you get?
Got money and
Money. Lots of money?
clothes. Quite a lot.
How much?
£30.
Oh my God, that's more than I earn. So you got £30, you got some clothes. And did you go anywhere special?
I went to see the Depeche Mode concert.
Who?
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Where was that then?
Hammersmith Odeon.
Hammersmith Odeon. Was it absolutely packed?
Yeah, we had to stand at the very top, but some people didn't come, so we sat on their seats.
Oh, that was good.
That's your ring.
So did you like the concert? I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. And what about the was everybody standing up and cheering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another group on before called, his name was Matt Fetton.
Who?
Matt Fetton.
What were they like?
They were like, just this man singing all the time.
And who did you go there with?
My friend Joanne and Claire.
Yeah. And you've got a new ring, have you?
Yeah,
Which one's that? Which one?
that one.
That one there. Show it to the camera so the camera can see it. No, just take it off. That's good. Who bought you that?
Mum.
Your mum bought you that.
Yeah.
It's rather nice, isn't it? And what's the other ring? Who bought you that one?
My mum gave me it, I think it was their engagement ring.
Oh, yeah. There's no answer to that one. So, and where'd you go on holiday? You went on holiday with your mum this year, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Wales.
Wasn't the greatest place on earth though, was it?
No.
No, I didn't think it was. I told her it wouldn't be very good. It's pretty boring, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was raining a lot of time.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't go to Butlin. You should have gone to Butlin. You should have had a good time there, didn't you? So now, you're how old now?
14.
40. Yeah. And, and have you got any ideas what you want to do when you leave school?
Be child, look after children.
Look after children. I was watching a programme the other day about that, and it said that that a lot of youngsters want to look after children, and it seems a very glamorous job, but when you get in it's very hard. I mean, how do you feel? Do you think it's going to be hard?
Don't know.
You don't know. You'll have to try, won't you, and then just see how things go.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. What about nurses? Everyone wants to be a nurse. No? And how's your brother these days?
Alright.
Is he alright? Is he just as mad as ever, is he?
Yeah.
Just as crazy?
Mm.
I'm home. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Hello. Had a good day?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's been like that, has it? How's the kids, all right?
No, they're not all right. They're up in bed. They've had enough of them today. They've been screaming, shouting, throwing balls about in the back garden. They've pulled all the plants up.
I'll have a word with them tomorrow. Oh. No ice, darling?
No, I really think I am. I've been slaving over this cooker all day, and my mum's been on the phone. The bloke for the washing machine's supposed to come, and he didn't turn up.
I just fancied a martini, had a bit of a day at the office, and Frank.
Oh my God!
turned
Now
around to
the
me.
milk's boiling.
No, don't panic over this. Let's calm down. Now, it's your mother, isn't it? Now I know when you're like this, it's always your mother. Now, she's been on the phone to you, has she?
Yes, she hasn't.
Now she probably wants you to go over there, doesn't she, tonight?
No, she's had to go into hospital.
Now what's the problem there?
She's gone into hospital today.
What's that, for the x-rays, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
That's right, yeah. Is it her back, isn't it? Yeah, her
Mm.
back's gone wrong. Yeah, well, there's nothing to worry about there, really, darling. I don't know why you're moaning about it. You know...
She's my mother. I've got to worry about these things.
Yes,
You do worry,
but
don't
you know what your mother's like, darling. She's always going on all the time. You know, it's just a slight, back trouble. No need to worry about it, darling.
Well, she is 80. You've got to be careful. You can't say it's just a backache.
Yes,
It's
but
probably...
I mean, my mother, there was
Your
never
mother.
that. There was no, no, darling, it's no need for you to